This is the guide where you can find all the Libet ecosystem information. Here you will find information on the Libet ecosystem ambition and objectives, how to become an active member through the single entry point, the phases and services provided within the Libet ecosystem, the Libet protocols, and finally, the applications, technologies, and clients of Libet. We invite you going to this guide and let us know your opinion. The main objective of Libet is to accelerate the development and minimize the risk of manufacturing nanomaterials and printed electronics for the benefit of a wide range of European industry. Libet is an Horizon 2020 funded project that qualified as an open innovation testbed with the ambition to eliminate the barriers for European stakeholders penetrating the printed electronic industry. The goal is to offer the European industry a full service, minimizing concept to prototype to below 6 months. An electronic device is mainly composed of 3 types of materials: conductor, insulator, and semiconductor. Recently, research has been focusing on organic and hybrid semiconductors. There are a true innovation, as until recently, electronics relied on inorganic semiconductors such as silicon. Printed electronics are considered a promising low-cost, clean energy solution for the lighting, packaging, and sensor industry. Even if printed electronics are already an installed commercial technology, research is still undergoing to understand how chemical structure and deposition conditions impact the electronic performance. This leaves room for the development of new techniques. The main point of the Libet ecosystem is to provide European users full techno-economic assessment services that will facilitate the development of the user's ideas and innovation. Thanks to the expertise of Libet partners, various aspects will be covered, from technical assessment to economic ones, always bearing in mind sustainability and feasibility. Libet will also provide to the users upgrade pilot lines across the entire value chain to guide them into the realization of their innovation, along with personalized support that range between patenting, safety, and investment, getting a complete groundwork and pathway through a concrete development of their innovative idea to a promising business. Libet has created synergy between diverse European research and technology organizations to foster the development and manufacturing of functional materials and printed electronics, giving access to companies of any size to a well-designed combination of printed electronic production materials and components. Stakeholders can access to our open content such as seminars, webinars, websites, and other videos and become active members of the Libet ecosystem through the single entry point. It is a functioning and independent entity that overlooks the ecosystem created by the Libet service providers. It is the main contact between the clients and the service provider. Libet services are divided into 3 main phases and an initial phase 0. Libet services are divided into 3 main phases and an initial phase 0. The phase 1 techno-economic assessment includes 5 services, each offered by a partner expert in the field. The first one is the technical assessment. This quantifies the technical feasibility of the idea, meeting the user specification through electromechanical and production design and modeling. The economic assessment. This one is divided into 2 sub-services. The first one is the quick economic assessment that preliminarily determines if the product or technology will be economically feasible by comparing the expected cost and the forecasted income of the said product or technology. The second is the in-depth economic assessment. It aims to determine the economic success of the idea by developing a business canvas of the idea and the company, running a set of economic analysis, including the cash and investment need, the return of investment, the net present value, and the internal rate on returns. The pre-safety assessment preliminary analyzes the potential safety and regulatory issues that need to be considered when at all stages of the product life cycle from production to end of life. The life cycle assessment, it predicts the environmental impact of the materials used and processed for each customer. The patent mapping, the overall aim of patent mapping is to map technology trends and technology solutions. And finally, the pilot project financial support, it provides clients with a variety of possible funding mechanisms, which will allow them to procure support funding for projects. The phase 2, pilot project access to pilot line. This phase goes from proof of concept, prototyping to pilot production. There are 3 types of pilot lines within Liebet. The first one is the nanomaterial pilot line services. The services provide fully automated development at pilot production lines, which reduces development time and demonstrates pilot production. These materials can be delivered directly to users or to the formulation pilot lines for nano formulation development. These include nanomaterial development, nanomaterial upscaling, and direct nanomaterial deposition. The formulation pilot line services. The services provide the development and production of formulation. This upgraded service minimizes both costs and materials needed by clients to efficiently optimize application unique formulation, reducing development time. These include high throughput screening, nano ink formulation, nano adhesive formulation, nano composite formulation, and color ink formulation. The component pilot line services. These services provide the development and production of components. Liebet has a long list of facilities and component pilot lines for use by clients, industry, and other stakeholders. The services are focused on digital print and electronics, which will allow mass customization and minimizing changeover times. And the inline characterization services. The services aim to provide fast and non-destructive feedback to the development and production of nanomaterials, formulations, and components in order to decrease development times and reduce production waste. And finally, the phase 3, knowledge transfer services. The third phase is handed over to the selected partner to create a sustainable project that is feasible and attractive. It is composed of 4 services. The first service is the IPR and patent. IPR and patenting review services. The IPI gained during services and patenting needs determination, including IPR seminars and additional consulting on patenting and licensing services. The second service is the standardization and safety. The service provides a detailed review on regulation and safety standards that are relevant for clients. Extra safety services include toxicological profiling and study, including, among others, standardization consultancy, toxicity assessment screening, ecotoxicity assessment, and a complete risk registration management for nanomaterials, and compliance with CLP regulations. The second service is the business plan. The services determine the stack need for further economic support for technology transfer and upscaling to commercial levels, based on previous phases findings, included the value proposition and external environment definition, business plan development, SWOT and strategic positioning, and key stakeholders identification and engagement. And the last service of the phase 3 is the venture capital. Clients have the option of procuring capital through access to private investor companies based on the final business plan, including the business plan analysis, the startup valuation, the term sheet advising, and the action plan with potential investors. The introduction of clients in the Liebet Open Innovation Testbed takes place through the online platform named Single Entry Point. This will be the phase 0. There, the client makes contact, fill fills out a registration form where it includes its idea, needs, specification, and requirements, and a non-disclosure agreement if asked. And then a questionnaire called user requirements specifications is sent them out to the client to collect more input on the developed product. After this process, the single entry point decides if the client needs can be met by Libet, and if it is, the single entry point prepares a quotation with all the phase one services. Clients will be able to clearly identify the services provided and their cost. This quotation will be adapted to the characteristics and requirements of each client and in each project. The same process takes place for moving to phase 2 and phase 3. The Libet website allows clients to apply using the register and gain access to the service and pilot lines function, indicating contact details, an initial description of the idea, the maturity of the idea, expectation, the company size, and the option to provide additional information through the upload of documents. Finally, in Libet, we have been able to explore different market applications of printed electronics. Within all the market application and customer segment explored, we find automotive, construction, energy, wearables, printed batteries, among others. For instance, we have been developing different applications of printed electronics within the automotive sectors with our strategic partners, Mayer. Libet developed with its partner a functional automotive dashboard that includes electronic functionalities such as touch sensing and LED lighting, providing a high added aesthetical value to this component. Within the construction sector, our partner Acciona has developed an autonomous structural monitoring system in order to reduce maintenance costs and increase safety. Electronic functionality include sensing, wireless data transfer, and energy harvesting. A sector with a giant opportunity to take advantage of printed electronics is the wearable industry. Wearables refer to the use of sensors that can take measures now from individuals and their environment. Libet developed with its partner Swarovski several lightweight beauty and fashion accessories with embedded electronic systems. It is a multi-usage concept for the integration of crystal elements into decorative and functional surfaces, which can be used for several product lines. If you want to become an active member of the Libet ecosystem and start benefiting from the services, please join us in our website and through our single entry point. Thank you for your attention and welcome to the Libet ecosystem.